Okay, in closing, I have compiled my research and my observations to get a final think about how spoken word poetry relates to reading, writing, and literature and how they interact with text. So, from my research and observations, I found that the art of spoken word implements a variety of devices unique to this subculture to communicate through reading, writing, and literature. Um, by that I mean performing the poetry live and in front of an audience as a performer. They're like reading the audience for feedback, looking for anything from body language to emotions, which means if they see people getting up and leaving, they're going to try their best to get the crowd back interactive. They're going to, change their thought process or change the poem even to get them, you know, excited to be there. They're not going to bore the crowd to death. They're going to actually try to get them engaged. And when I say that they communicate by writing, I mean that when they perform a piece, they actually are writing a piece in their memoirs, like their book of their lives. Like every poem was inspired by a story that happened to them or something that they've seen in life. So by actually writing a poem down in their notebooks to perform it later on, it's like actually another entry in the book of their life. You know what I mean? So they're actually writing, like verbally writing when they perform, and they're writing it down as they go on. So it's like they can actually look back at the poems and see how their lives have progressed, kind of like a memoir or a biography. So I say that depending on the audience reactions, like for crowd participation, the performance is changed every time. So it's kind of like a play or something. Say someone forgot their lines. They're going to improvise to make it a little bit better. So if they're doing crowd participation and someone shouts out something that they never heard before, of course the whole poem is going to change. Like if you shout out how y'all feel and somebody says stupid, they probably never heard that before. So they're going to actually interact with that response to get a better reaction or to make them feel included. You know what I mean? Like they're not gonna just like let them out the dry. They're actually gonna try to get them, into the group. So I found that as far as literature goes, the subculture of spoken word here at UNC Charlotte uses a specific type of verbiage. Like when I was interviewing my subjects, they were using words like live and yes and work and girl, go ahead. It kind of reminded me of going to church, like how the sermon is going on and they're allowed to like shout out and this, that, and third. Like it's kind of like they're from a different country. They're writing like their literature has different verbiage as far as like it's a book full of ebonics or a book full of perfect language or old English or French or it's just different. And that's their literature. Like they communicate and they how do I say it? They make sure that everyone knows those words within each other. Like if they say something's bad, they say it's blank. They say it's dry. They say it's dead. They say it's not worthy. And they all know. It's how they. I don't even know the word I'm trying to say. But either way, this is just they make sure that everyone knows all those words and they communicate each other. They all know each one. So that's how reading, writing, and literature are all meshed into, not even the obvious ways, but they always read the audience. They always, communicate through writing. They always like write, like verbally writing their memoirs. They're always, communicating with each other through those different types of verbiage. It's just spoken word poetry does more than it does like to the plain eye. Like you have to actually get in and get involved with the group and get involved with what they're doing to actually understand literature in the form of spoken word. So there you go. That's my research. Bye. Oh, the word was identify. It's how they identify with each other. Okay, bye.